and welcome to Think It, Make It, Eat It, our Makers 2022 cooking event. Some of you guys may know me from upstairs at the adult circulation desk, and I'm here today to show you guys how to make some fun, sweet treats with ingredients that you probably have at home already. Today we're doing cake mugs. So I have two recipes that I'll put at the description of the video for vanilla and chocolate. Personally, I like chocolate, so we're going to go with chocolate today. There's only some slight variation in the ingredients, and you just got to add some chocolatey stuff to the chocolate ones. So, let's get started. So we're going to start with a mixing bowl, and you're going to take your most basic baking ingredients, flour. You get your nice big thing of flour. Careful, it gets everywhere. So you're going to take 1/3 cup of flour. And make sure to level it off nicely so you have just enough. And also, make sure you washed your hands before getting started. I know it's a very duh thing, but it's important. So you've got 1/3 cup of flour. If you were making the vanilla version, you would add just a teaspoon more of flour. So, put a paper towel out. From there, you're going to get your baking powder. So baking powder is what's going to make the cupcakes, rise. So you're just going to do 1/2 teaspoon. You really don't want to do any more or any less, because then they're not going to rise properly. Now, an important thing to know is baking powder is not the same as baking soda. So you need to make sure that you have baking powder. Alright, it's not going to react the same as baking soda. This other way. Then next you're going to take your sugar. And so you're only going to do 4 tablespoons of sugar. Normally you put a lot more sugar in your recipes because you're making larger quantities, but you're just making 1 mug size for yourself, so you don't want to add too much sugar. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Next ingredient, you're going to add just a pinch of salt. You don't want to add too much, so just a pinch. Sometimes I like to put it out in my hand beforehand and just put it in. You never want to just pour it right into the thing. You can always pour too much. My mom always said you can always add, you can't take away. All right. And now we're going to add the thing that makes it the chocolate ones. So, cocoa powder. So, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Careful, it does get messy. It stains everything too. 1, 2. Good old-fashioned Hershey cocoa powder. Okay. So from there, you're going to take it and mix up the dry ingredients. A lot of times in baking, you'll mix the dry ingredients first, and then you'll put the wet ingredients afterwards. So usually your sugars, your cocoa powders, your baking powders, everything like that. So make sure you mix it up so it's nice and good, you know. There we go. Okay. So next we're going to start adding our wet ingredients. First up, milk. We're going to do 1/4 cup of milk. Okay. Be very careful with it. And into the bowl. Okay. Next, we're going to add our melted butter. So, I already pre-melted it for this, but you're going to add 2 tablespoons of it. And a good way to measure it is most butters already have the measuring things on there. So 1, 2. So you just cut it, put it in a microwave safe bowl. That is number 1. I've done that before. So what you do is you'll put the butter in the bowl. Make sure to cover it with a paper towel or something, or a napkin. Put it in the microwave for small amounts of time. Usually I never go above 10 to 15 seconds at a time. And if you can, Ask an adult how to lower the power on your microwave, that helps. If you put it in for a full like 30 seconds, your butter will explode and make an unhappy mess everywhere. So you put it in for small intervals at a time, 10 seconds until you get it nice and melted. You want to make sure it's not burning hot when you add it to the ingredients either, so wait till it's nice and room temperature, and you pour it in there. Mix it up a little bit. All right. Next, you're going to take 1 egg. So, take it. My mom taught me that it's easiest to crack them actually on a flat surface. I used to try to do it on the edge of a table. That's not actually the best way to do it. So right on a flat surface, push it once, and you should have a nice clean split to your egg. If you get a little chunk of the eggshell in there, don't worry. You can use the little bigger pieces to scoop it out. It happens. All right, did it over a paper towel. Make sure you wipe your hands clean. Typically, you'd actually want to wash your hands after using the egg because now you have raw egg on your hands. So I'm just going to wipe it off with a paper towel for now. All right. From there, we're going to add our vanilla extract. So we're only going to use half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I know everyone thinks, ooh, vanilla, you want to add more. Pure vanilla extract is not sweet at all. So you don't want to be tasting it or anything like that. Trust me, I've learned from experience. The same thing with the cocoa powder we added earlier. It's very bitter because it's not sweetened yet. So you don't want to be tasting it. It's not like you're tasting chocolate chips or anything. So you put the half a teaspoon like that. This over to the side. All right, and then you're going to combine it till it's nice and smooth. So this may take a minute. Nice and smooth. Make sure you scrape around the edges of the bowl so that you can get all the mix in there. All right. So while I mix this up, I really do enjoy baking. It's something I do to really relax. So I hope that you guys can use it, especially now with everyone being home. And a lot of people have a lot of work from home and things like that. It's a nice way to take a break from your day. I know that I'm a big stress baker, so my roommates absolutely love me when I'm stressed out. All right, so that's looking nice and smooth there. Now we get to add my favorite ingredient, the chocolate chips. All right, this is the one thing I didn't open beforehand. So you're not going to use a lot. It calls for an ounce of chocolate chips, which is really hard to measure in cups. So basically, I'm going to take the 1/4 cup and kind of just fill it halfway and put that in there. If you're feeling like you want a little extra, sprinkle a little more in there, depending on how your day's going. And you're going to mix those in nice and smooth. So we have a nice chocolatey mix there. Like I said before, there's also a vanilla version, so if you're not a chocolate fan, all you would really do is leave out the cocoa powder and you wouldn't put the chocolate chips in there. Or you could have a vanilla one with chocolate chips in it. That works too. All right, so we've got everything together. Move these out. You're going to take a microwave safe mug. So that's very important to make sure that it's microwave safe. If you're not sure, ask an adult at home and they can tell you. Typically, at the bottom of the mug, it'll tell you microwave safe or anything like that. Ones that use those temperature changing images are usually not. So things like that. So you want a nice microwave safe one, nice big one. The bigger one's the better. So from there, you're going to pour your mix into it. Careful, this part can get a little messy. I'm actually going to stop there and get a paper towel. Make sure I put that under there. There we go. So you're going to nice pour the mix in there as much as you can get. Scrape the sides. Get that nice and thick. All the chocolate chips in there. Alright, that's good for now. And clean up the sides a little bit so it doesn't overflow. And now we get to bake it. So what's nice about these is that you don't have to use the oven. You can do it right here in your microwave. All right, so you open up the microwave. And you're going to put it in the center of the microwave. And you're only going to put one mug in at a time. So if you're doing it with siblings, with parents, with guardians, with friends, you're only going to cook them one at a time. So let's start it off for 60 seconds. And start. Well, that does that. Why don't I tell you guys a little bit more about our Makers menu for this month. So make sure you stop by the library and pick up our Makers events. You can open it up and see what cool events we have going on. We have everything's going on until the end of March, into April as well. We have our Makers Mayhem Day on April 23rd, I believe that is. We're going to have some cool events up in the library, show off our 3D printer. We have take-home Lego kits. We have, today's baking. We have a lot of crafts going on. So make sure you stop by, get a Makers menu, and ask the librarian or someone at the desk to tell you all about what's going on for Makers. All right. So we got 13 more seconds on there. This part's the part where I'm just stalling for time because, yeah. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Woo! Our cupcake mug! Ooh. So, it's a little overflowing. And what we're going to do is if it falls over a little bit, I'm going to take a little off the top. It doesn't look to be done. So I'll take a little off the top. It's a little gooey. So if it doesn't look completely done, it does have raw egg in it, so we really don't want to be eating it raw. That's not good for you. So we'll clean it up a little bit around the sides, and you're going to put it in maybe for another 20 more seconds. From there, you're going to do it from 15 to 20 second intervals, constantly checking on it so that you're not overflowing, you're not making a mess in your microwave, it's not overcooking and burning. Alright, so I'm going to put it in there for 15 more seconds just to see what happens. Alright, so while that cooks, you guys can think about other cool treats that you guys want to see us do here. Maybe next month we can have some of you guys come in and make some cool things with us. Maybe comment on the video, tell us in person, what do you guys want to see us to make next? Alright. Ooh, I think that looks pretty good. Alright. Let me come around and I'll show you my delicious cake mug. Oh. Careful, it is a little warm, so you want to cool down a little bit. Careful when touching. Maybe I shouldn't have grabbed it like that. Try to hold it by the handle, or if you have a lovely little hand mitt, pick it up that way. Don't want to burn yourself. So these are really fun to make with your friends and family. And like I said, there's the vanilla version if you guys aren't a big fan of chocolate. So I think it's about cool enough to dig in. Left-handed, so I gotta do it this way. All right. Ooh. That's really good. That is a good cake mug. I'm glad you guys could share this with me. Remember, you guys can do it all with ingredients from home. And make sure to stop by the library to see what other cool Makers events we have going on this month. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you, Miss Jenna, for doing this wonderful, wonderful program for our annual Makers event. Miss Jenna is a library assistant here at Sopel, and as she said, she loves to bake. I am a certified taster.
Yes, she is. She tastes anything I bake, I bring in for Miss Keisha here to taste.
So I'm the teen librarian, and Miss Jenna came up with this idea to do for Makers Month, and I said, sure, go for it. I like to cook. I don't necessarily like to bake.
I like to bake. I don't necessarily like to cook.
See? So
it
works
works out.
18. Exactly. So like she said, we are upon our 7th annual Makers Month programming here. And so we encourage you to stop in. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us via email, teens@sopl.org. You can also follow us on social media. If you have an Instagram account, we are SO_library. And we're also on TikTok.
Yes.
SO_library NJ. So thank you all for joining us today. And we hope to see you in the library really soon.
Come on by.
Bye.